The guilt that I felt after reconnecting with my dad is something that I was not prepared for. The amount of shame and self-loathing that I had amidst a really wonderful reconnection with my dad was such a powerful thing in my life. And I found myself constantly, every moment that I had, whether it was on the phone or whether it was in person with my dad, I was constantly saying to him, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, Dad, I'm so sorry. And my dad would constantly tell me, and eventually, finally, he was like, Ryan, like, stop. Like, you have to stop apologizing. Like, I knew, we all knew. And it was really hard for me to not go down that path of feeling guilty, because I knew that even though I had started to understand what parental alienation was, that I was manipulated, that it wasn't really me that was thinking these thoughts, because I had been indoctrinated against my dad and his whole family since I was 3 years old, 4 years old. No wonder it ended like this. It was great to be able to logically understand, oh, this is why it happened. I understand that. It makes sense to me. But to know that I still did it, like my fingerprints were on it. I was the one that made the decision. I was the one that said the words. I was the one that wrote the messages and the letters. I was the one that did the ignoring or that said the harsh words. That was profound, especially since my whole life was built around being a people pleaser. I always tried to hold myself in an esteem that, well, of course not perfect, that like I don't hurt someone's feelings. I don't intentionally hurt someone's feelings. I'm not a mean person. I'm not a vindictive person. I'm not somebody who's out trying to hurt someone. That was something that I believed in, except for my dad. But my dad, for so much of my life, that was the one vessel that you could go towards, because he didn't deserve love. He didn't deserve respect because he didn't respect me. He didn't love me. All of these things that were built up about why I could reject him and that would be okay. You just aim all of your venom there. You stand up for yourself and you tell him no, or you ignore him. That was like this one little safe pocket that I was able to sort of flex those muscles. But it wasn't even my muscle. It was the safe, it was the accepted way to channel that energy. And so for all of a sudden, this people pleaser, this person who, I'm a good guy, I'm a nice guy, and then to realize the damage that I had done, the hurt that I had caused, the words that I had spoken, the missed time that I caused, it was like a ton of bricks on me. The weight of that was so heavy. And it wasn't just my dad. It was not only the stress that I had caused my dad, but it was also my grandma, my aunt, my uncle. And all of a sudden I think, oh my gosh, I was the source of so much stress. Think about how many conversations my dad was having to have with his mom and his sister, which was his support system, about Ryan said this, Ryan did this, I did all these things, I reached out, nothing from Ryan, haven't heard back from him. And I thought, oh my God, all of these emotional, heart-wrenching conversations that happened. Not to mention me cutting out my aunt, my uncle, and my grandma. So they had their own pain, and then they are also having to watch the person that they love the most, my dad, go through this hurt. I mean, the shame and the guilt in that. It was terrible. And I mean, it's not like luckily we have had enough new relationship now where that has lessened tremendously on an everyday basis, because we just have more of our relationship to build on, but it's still in there. Even in the understanding that I have now in working with other parents, right? It's one thing to go, oh, I understand this, oh, my mom this, or the rest of my family that. But now being able to work with other families and see the same things play out, it's really helpful to say, wow, it wasn't even just me. This is like what alienators do. This is like a thing. How do they know? How are they all on the same page? How do they all know how to act in lockstep? Even that's helpful, but it still doesn't take away the fact that I caused these problems. I did these things. I wasn't strong enough. I put my dad and my family through hell because I wasn't smart enough to see what was going on, or I wasn't strong enough to find that strength and that courage to say, no, you know what? Yes, deep down inside, I do want to have a relationship with my dad. I do love my dad, and I do want to go and see him, and I want him to call, and I want his gifts. And I just go, why couldn't I have had that strength? And I fall back on the belief that, well, like I said, you were indoctrinated. So it makes sense from the place of origins and understanding. Oh, this is why it happened. I can reverse engineer and see, oh, like I'm not a bad person. I was just brought up believing, if you were brought up believing that the sky is green and the grass is blue and that's all you ever knew, and then you really figured it out, oh my gosh, I'm the only one that's gotten it wrong. This grass is actually green and the sky is blue. You could understand it, but you're still going to feel pretty stupid for going along with it. And that's how I felt. Really stupid. And so that's been something that I've had to work with, my own guilt and shame at trying to really come to terms with those decisions that I made. And at the same time, recognizing how much of a ridiculous waste of energy it all was, how needless it was. When I look at alienation and the parents that I work with, it is all needless energy. It is all needless trauma. It is people who can't get over themselves and put the child's best interest to say, you know what, let's let them have love from both sides. I hate that jerk. That's why I divorced them. But let's give the child the feeling that they can love both parents. Let's both love the child. And unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. And of course, there's many reasons. There's many reasons that some parents can't get along and that's not possible. But when you have loving parents that are always knocking at the proverbial door to be let in, to show up, to help out, to support, to love, to provide financial assistance, emotional assistance, to just be there, and you can't get past your own personal grievances or whatever's in your head, and you will then do to a child what was done to me, where they have to be the ones that send the note or send the text or send the email or go and have to tell a court or a guardian ad litem, no, I don't want to see that other parent, they're bad. The long-term damage that you're putting the child at is inexcusable, in my opinion. So I wanted to share that overwhelming sense of guilt that I have felt and shame that I have felt and still feel in many ways here today. If you are a parent who's dealing with alienation and you're watching this and you want my help in trying to get through to your child so that the window is as short as possible that they have to live like this, and you want my help, you can click a link below this video to get more information on that. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm Ryan Thomas, and I will see you on another video.
Hey, it's Ryan Thomas. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and it also helps to spread the word. Be sure to watch other videos from this channel, and also check below this video for other resources and links to help.